How you doing, gardeners? Ed Snyder with Fresh Picked Acres. We have a beautiful evening today and we're out here picking green beans. More or less, we're getting into our first planting of beans and having a nice night to get out here and pick them. This year I planted 20,000 seeds and in 3 different plantings, and Delia and I come out here and we'll pick them. It's a very profitable, very nutritious crop for the family. There's a saying that my sister Teresa would say about her strawberries, and it would always be, don't pick tomorrow's crop today. I think that also applies with green beans, and identifying green beans that are ready to be picked is not hard to do. I think the nice thing is it's all edible, so you can actually pick them as you want. So you pick them, number one, how you want to eat them. From a perspective of a farm market, and what I'm looking for is I do want to see my pods filled out. There's going to be some uh-ohs and whatever, but to me this here's a perfect green bean. Is filled out. The pods are, there's obviously a bean inside of the pod, so they're slightly expanded, but they're not overly grown. So that's the kind of an avenue I'm going for as I pick my green beans. Now, if I was a bigger operation, I could have a machine and come through here and we could pick these beans, and you would just pick a point such as right now where the majority of the beans are ready to be harvested, and it's a one-time harvest. That being said, this is not a machine operation, so let's also make sure that we take advantage that we are hand picking to not overpick a group, because they all look good. You get down here to like this one, it's starting to get a little skinny, so I'll leave that one for the next time I come through. So we get into them, and again, that's a nice one. You can see the bumps of the bean, but if they're skinny, let them sit on there. From a market gardener's perspective, my own personal view is we get paid. In our case, we charge by the pound. So having your beans obtain a little bit of weight and still not compromise freshness, as a matter of fact, benefit freshness, the taste is what we're after. We're trying to get a crop. It's like sweet corn, it's like strawberries, it's like anything. You want to maximize your produce at the same time, not sacrifice. See, that one was a little bit young, and you get to picking, and it'll be fine. And there's one, I can feel the bumps, so it's time to get it, so let's move on. While I'm sitting in here, and for me it's easier just to sit right here and look and work both rows at the same time, but I want to talk to you, so we'll keep it right there. Now I will not wash these beans. I'll get them in a cold area. I don't have a problem with this being shoved in some cold water and taken in. It's just something that we don't normally do. We do have a cool room that we take the beans to where it's 45 degrees, and to go ahead and get these chilled down as fast as possible. And we'll make multiple trips up there as we fill up our container. We'll go ahead and get it in the chilled room. Again, if it's really hot out, I have no problem a person putting them in some good, clean, chlorinated water. Get that to get them washed off. These went through a rain, so there is some dirt on them. But I just tell my customers, we don't want them to be dirty. We'll kind of shuffle them around a little bit, and a lot of that dirt will fall off. But we'll just tell folks we don't wash them, and we don't wash them for your benefit. This way we don't bring and add any contaminants to our green beans. Basically, you want to plant your green beans in 2 to 3 weeks intervals. I will harvest more beans off of this. The more frequent that you actually harvest beans, such as daily, you'll actually reap the benefits of, it'll continue to want to put on your more bean. It'll actually set more fruit. So that's a win-win. Now, for some reason here where I live, and I'm not an agronomist, and this is just history for me talking, my experience is the green beans I plant early are pretty much, I might suffer a little bit when it comes to germination by planting them early. In other words, the soil temperature is a little cool. But the bean quality, the vegetation is phenomenal. I beat most of the pests that go after our beans and that type of thing by getting in beans early. I noticed that after beans that are going into mid-July, late August, or 1st of August, that I start seeing vegetative things like rust, and it could be a mildew, it could be something along that line. I'm not positive what it is, but what I do try to do is have my beans harvested by then. That's my management game plan to avoid those things, is just to go ahead and get my crop put in and sold as early as possible. The green beans are really in pretty good shape. I did take soil tests for this field. Delia and I did have to come out here and do a lot of heavy weeding. And I did a lot of tillage in here as well. I took my garden tiller and I tilled in here between the rows. We do have to fight the weeds just like everybody else. And it seems like my later summer weeds, my summer grasses, crab grasses and what have you, seem to be more of an issue. So go ahead and get them in early. And I think a guy can halfway stay on top of it with 1 or 2 attempts. The game for me is I don't have to go ahead and have it this look great for the entire year. It just has to look good while I have the vegetation, and after that I can continue mowing it and keep the weeds down in a different way at that stage. Or you can double crop it, and if I wanted to, if I was really tight on space, I could easily go ahead and this could be my next spot for next year's strawberries, because these will be done by July. So if I needed to, I can mow it, till it, and put it under plastic. So these are different things that I look at. Well, by having early green beans, it also gives me a double cropping option, and you can even get in your pumpkins in here, you know, things like that. So these beans right here, they're a little young on that particular plant. I did have to fight some aphids in here, so that was an issue for me, but these guys that come around. Now my next batch of green beans are going to be phenomenal. They are. It's going to take something to get in there for them to be an issue to us, but I think I got it. I think we got these under control for now. I do have a lot of work to do on my 3rd batch of green beans. They seem to be, the weeds are getting in on me, so we'll keep it going there. But yeah, just like, look at this bush. Look, hopefully you can see this, but it's loaded up with beans, and there's one. You just want to make sure that you grab the ones that are big and full. I mean, that's just, those are perfect. Nice, big, and full beans, and leave the smaller ones for the next time you come through. I try myself, when we have this many beans, try to get in here twice a week to pick. If you have your home garden, you can look at more frequent pickings and see if it's more manageable to you. Besides, it's enjoyable out here in the garden in the evenings. And I know we got a lot of beans planted here, but I think it's still, I think it's a profitable and it's nutritious, and it's one of my favorite plants to, things to can. I like canned green beans very much. A lot of folks like frozen green beans. However you like them, green beans is a good choice. It's not hard to grow. You can sit here and just simply sit down, enjoy yourself. If you like having a glass of wine of an evening, or a cold one from a hard day's of work, this is a good time to have that set down here too. Whatever floats your boat, whether it's some iced tea or whatever. I enjoy it, and you can just sit there and have a wonderful crop for yourself. And yep, just not a whole lot right there. This is wonderful. I have more for the next time I come in. Yeah, you just come in here and pick them, but make sure you get them beans cooled down. I think my beans stay fresher by not washing them, but there's nothing against it on washing. It's just something that I don't like to do personally myself. I don't want to add anything to it. If I were to wash them, it'll be chlorinated water. That's how I would do it. And make sure you get it. And then we would make sure that we'd put a fan on it to kind of make sure it gets good and dry. And then get it in the cool room and get it settled down. So those are some, consult your safety guidelines when it comes to washing stuff. We just pretty much don't wash a lot here. There's some state guidelines, but if I don't wash it, it's not an issue for us. So that's why I don't do a lot of washing. We just tell our customers, go ahead and wash it when you get home, and everybody seems to get along with that just fine. So we don't want to sell them dirt, so we're going to make sure that these are not, we'll tumble them around a little bit and get some of that dirt off of it. Dirt will settle to the bottom. This happens to be a little bit worse because we got that rain yesterday, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We would not have the beans that we have right now, but yeah, Delia's out here behind me. She's picking. She just finished picking our yellow squash, zucchini. She got those tip for the day, broccoli, and then that's a daily thing, that's for sure. So we keep trying to do that. But we've been out here all day picking beans. I know we're probably pushing 100 pounds right now of green beans for the day, and I'll take half of them to Lenexa, Kansas, and Delia's going to take her half to the Topeka bread basket. We're both going to go to different farmers markets. That's the only way I know how we can expand our operation, is for us to go ahead and split up and go to separate places. If I could sell all of this in bread basket in Topeka, that'd be wonderful. Or same thing with Lenexa. But I think it's there's other producers there too. They're selling stuff. We'll see how we do as we continue to gain the trust of our customers. We've done a pretty good job of getting rid of everything, keeping ourselves current. But now that we're getting into the quantity, like I said, 20,000 seeds altogether in 3 plantings, it's going to put a lot of pressure on any one market to absorb all of these beans. So we're going to go and divide them up. I'll bet you we end up with probably 100 pounds of green beans each to take. So she'll have 100 pounds, I'll have 100 pounds. And so we'll offer some deals like, we'll sell them by the pound, and on top of it, we're going to say, well, 3 pounds for a reduced price, 3 pounds or greater, something like that. That's how we'll try to do our best to try to get some beans sold. You got to do it with cucumbers and bell peppers, or all of those things once you get a lot of them. So, but having a lot of that stuff, folks, I'm glad to have you along. If you enjoy these types of videos, do us a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. Come grow with us.